Welcome. Thanks for joining me today. I've been learning a lot lately. Okay. Today we're going to work on regulation, more specifically through our heart rate and our breathing regulation. I've been learning a lot lately about how important it is to learn how to regulate yourself, and how yoga is a really good tool to help us do that, where we often get ourselves into really challenging poses, where we're having to breathe through it just to stay in the pose, but then we can also come back out when we're done, take a relaxing pose, and bring our breath and our heart rate back down to a more steady pace. So that's what we're going to work on today. We'll do a series of challenging poses, and then we'll back out and relax. And then we'll do another challenging pose and then come back in multiple times. So when we are in the challenging poses, remember the point is to challenge yourself and to get maybe where you're having to work to regulate your heart rate and your breath. But then knowing that rest and recovery is going to come soon. Okay, so let's get started first with breath work. At our resting rate, we want to set our rhythm, our steady pace for our breathing that we want to begin with. And you're welcome to do that in a seated position, or if you want to take child's pose or reclined pose, you're welcome to do that. Wherever you are though, close your eyes and then begin to breathe in and out through your nose. So see if you can guide your breath into a 4 or 5 count inhale, and then the same on your exhale, making it as slow and even as you can. And noticing the sense of calm that it invites when you cultivate that even, slow breath. That's what we're going to come back to today, over and over again. And what you can come back to even off of your mat when you're in challenging situations. Okay, then when you're ready, open your eyes. Our first pose is going to be toes pose. So we're going to come on to our kneeling position. You're going to tuck all of your toes under. So reach back, make sure they're all tucked. Try and sit up tall right over your heels. Relax your arms down on top of your thighs. Maybe you close your eyes. We're going to stay here for a while. So again, just try and breathe through it. It might be really challenging, but see if your breath can guide you through, knowing that it will end. Rest and recovery will come. We're about halfway there. So if you can feel your heart rate picking up or your breath rate, see if in the pose you can slow it down. Okay, just 2 more breaths. Okay, and then come onto your hands and knees, untuck your toes, pat the tops of your feet. Okay, and then sit all the way back into child's pose. You can bring your knees wide or keep your knees close together. Walk your hands forward all the way with your pinkies to the edges of your mat, and then drop your forehead down. Okay, we're going to take just about as long as we did in the pose in our relaxing pose. See if you can use it to slow down your heart rate, get back to where we were before we started. About halfway. Okay, with your next inhale, slowly roll up. Bring your knees back underneath you. Tuck your toes, sit back on your heels. We're going to repeat it one more time. So again, make sure all of your toes are tucked. Try and sit up tall over your heels. Okay, soften down through your face and your shoulders. Even breath in and out. Okay, we're halfway. Remember, your breath is your gateway to calming your mind and your body. Two more breaths. And then come onto your hands and knees, untuck your toes, pat the tops of your feet. Come into child's pose, or if there's another variation of a pose you like, puppy pose maybe, or bringing your hands back by your feet. Something restful. Bring your breath back to that 4 or 5 count inhale, 4 or 5 count exhale. Okay, a few more breaths here. Okay, take a few more breaths here. And then bring yourself back up. Okay. Then we're going to come into locust pose, but first we're going to do a few things to warm up our back. So you're going to lower all the way down onto your mat, onto your stomach. Bring your hands next to your chest, bring your legs close together and elbows pointing back towards your feet. With an inhale, lift up to low cobra. And exhale back down. Again, inhale up. Exhale down. One more time, inhale up and down. Bring your hands back alongside your body, palms face up. Inhale, lift up again, arms lift up with you. Exhale back down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up again and down. Bring your hands out back next to your chest and then step them out wide just off of your mat. Inhale, lift up, so we're coming up a little bit deeper into the back bend. Exhale back down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale down. One more time, inhale, lift up and hold it here, but keep breathing. Keep a bend in your elbows. Take one more breath in. With your exhale, lower back down. Okay, now for locust pose, you're going to bend your knees so your feet are pointing up towards the ceiling, the soles of your feet, and then reach back, grab onto the outside edge of your ankles. You can also use a strap or a belt or something if you need help reaching back. Okay, so you're either just holding onto your ankles here, or if you can, you're going to try and push your feet away from you, lift up through your chest, and then hold it here, but keep breathing. We're about halfway. Stay with your breath. Take one more. And then release it down. Come onto your right ear. Relax your arms by your side. Let your elbows bend out to the side and let your heels roll out to the side. This is our rest pose. Get comfortable. See how relaxed you can get. Okay, then come back up to center, bring your legs back again. We're going to do it one more time. Bend your knees, grab your ankles, try and push your feet away from you, and then breathe. Relax your face, don't use any extra effort. Okay, we're going to take one more breath. Slowly release it down. Bring your left ear down to the mat. Relax your arms, relax your legs. See how relaxed you can get in this. Come back to center, bring your hands next to your chest. Push yourself back up to tabletop. And appropriately with Bear here next to us, we're going to do downward dog for our next pose. Walk your hands forward just a little bit, straight out from your shoulders. Spread your fingers out, press your palms down. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. Relax your head in between your arms. If you want to take your first couple breaths to pedal your feet, you can do that. Okay, so even if your heels aren't reaching the mat, that's okay, but think about pressing the mat down and away from you with your hands and pushing your tailbone up to the ceiling. And then breathe. We're about halfway. One more breath. Then drop your knees down. Untuck your toes. Sit back onto your heels. Bring your hands back next to your feet. Tuck your head down so that the crown of your head, or maybe just the forehead, touches the mat. Let your shoulders soften. Okay, so again, the point of this pose is to help you slow back down your breath. Let everything relax. Okay, take one more breath. Slowly come back up. And then we're going to do it again. Reach your hands forward. Tuck your toes. Hips up. Pushing your tailbone up towards the sky or towards the ceiling. Pressing your hands down into the mat. So trying to flatten them out. Press them up away from you. Relax your head. Stay with that slow pace as long as you can. Okay, a couple more breaths. Then drop your knees. Untuck your toes, sit back on your heels again. Reach your hands back by your feet. Drop your head and relax. Okay, take one more breath. Come back up. All right, we've got one more pose to do 2 times, and that's going to be plank pose. You can take regular plank, or if you'd like to modify with your knees down, set back away from you a little bit, you can do that. So again, we're going to hold it here. We're aiming for about 15 to 20 breaths. So pick your hips up, push your heels away, push the mat away from you, pull your belly in, and then breathe. We're halfway. Just 2 more breaths. And drop your knees, sit back, or if you prefer, come all the way down out into a prone position on your stomach. Relax your arms. Take a couple more breaths here. Okay, slowly bring yourself back up again. One more time into that plank position. Okay. Stay with that rhythm with your breath. We're halfway. Pull your belly in a little bit tighter for your last breath. And then drop your knees, scoot them back just a little bit, untuck your toes, and roll all the way down onto your stomach. You can bring either ear to the mat. Relax your arms down by your side. Okay, so you're welcome to stay laying down on your stomach, but if you'd rather transition into a traditional Shavasana, you can come all the way down onto your back. When you get to your Shavasana, take a minute and mentally just think about what you just accomplished and how it feels. Were you able to bring your breath back? How long did it take? Just thinking about the stress that we created intentionally, but then resolved. And then smile and feel good about your effort, no matter what it was today. And then relax all the way into your Shavasana. Feel free to stay as long as you want here. We'll end the video now, but again, feel free to pause the video and stay in your Shavasana as long as you have time. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.